Hi everyone, welcome along to the SFC interviews here with former loan keeper Jesse Joronen. So, first of all, Jesse, how's things been?
How's things been? All good, all good. Busy summer with Euros, and a lot of has happened since I left Stevenage, good old Stevenage, way back when I was a young boy, but I still have fond memories of it. So it's always nice to talk.
And of course, you were brought in by Sharon as well, who was the manager at that time. And do you remember much about the conversations that you had with Ted?
No, it was I consider him to be a very good manager. Organized stuff. He did in training made a lot of sense. And obviously I was just happy to be playing. And I was very happy with how Teddy was, and obviously he liked to play poker as well, and was not shy about it either. So it was a really nice experience to be with England legend.
And of course, there was yourself and Chris Day in terms of competing for goalkeeping roles. And what was that like to obviously compete against Chris in terms of going for that number one role?
No, Daisy is a club legend. And I obviously understand even more so now when I'm a little bit older, the gravity of those things, and it's always, but as a goalkeeping unit, it's always just important to support whoever is playing, and that was how it went with Daisy. To be honest, he was very helpful, even though it was clear that he wanted to play as well, like he always did, and always when he got the chance, played well.
And there was a third keeper that came in as well, Chris Kettings. Do you remember, when Chris come in as well, the third keeper? Do you remember, much about, when Chris was there?
Yeah, no, our goalkeeping group was sound to be honest, and I had a lot of fun, and our goalkeeper coach Dimitri, with him especially, I remember him fondly as well, and it was a really good experience altogether.
And actually, you made your debut for Stevenage against Dagenham and Redbridge in a league game away from home. I don't know, whether you remember that game too much or not.
Yeah, I remember. I remember it was I remember it was a cloudy day in Dagenham and Redbridge, and I don't think we won that match. I don't think so. I do remember it. And I was just coming out from pre-season or training with Fulham, and then coming in with Stevenage, and almost straight away going into the game. So it was obviously the first game in the league, and obviously a good experience to get under the belt. But like all the first ones, then you're looking for the second one, like always.
Absolutely, and of course, you mentioned there that you were brought in on loan from Fulham, and you had a couple of loan spells before that as well. When what were some of the challenges there coming into sort of the men's environment?
Like for a lot of boys that come from clubs above, it's the case of the also the social aspect, but also the physical aspect of the game, and you are being put into that position because your potential is good, and you are seen as a potentially professional, having a long professional career, and you're put into that situation to deal with it and also help the team. But when it comes to the pressure of delivering points, and people's bonuses are up to it, and with the fans, it's the experience that the young players will need to develop in their career to be able to withstand that in the higher tiers of the football pyramid as well, because that's how the men's sport is, and it's a good experience for all parties if it's done with done with with good consideration, and seen as a good match. And for me, I'm always been quite quiet, but also focused and professional when it comes to my work, and the respect on the pitch. And obviously at Stevenage it worked marvelously, and altogether all my long experiences in England have helped me adjust a lot in my future endeavours in around the old continent, to be able to almost straight away to go into a team and feel part of the team, because that's what you need to do quickly as possible to be integrated into the team, because it helps you on the pitch.
Absolutely, and there's certain players there. You mentioned Daisy before. I'm sure Ronnie was a big help as well. Because Ronnie was, I think was he captain or club captain at that point?
Sorry.
In regards to Ronnie as well, I was just saying, Ronnie, was he captain or club captain, or was he just brought in at that point? And just in terms of his experience, I'm sure that was a big help as well.
No, he was a big help as well. And if you remember Dan Wellesley was absolutely marvelous help, because we actually shared a ride from London to Stevenage every morning. So he was a really good help for me as well, to get integrated into the team, because we obviously, when you go to training in the morning and go to back in the afternoon, you obviously get coffee to Wellesley, because I'm younger, so I need to obviously do that for a little bit more experienced player, and that was a really good thing.
Absolutely, and we touched on some of the players there, and we have to touch on the game against Wycombe, where you scored your first ever goal in English football, and I'm sure that was some moment for yourself. And I remember I watched the interview back, I think just the weekend, what you actually did with the sort of main people at the club in terms of the media, etc. And I remember your conversations there, and it was some experience to see a goalkeeper score like that as well. And I'm sure what was that like for you to? I know you would have felt sorry for the Wycombe goalkeeper, but to play a big part in getting the 3 points as well. I'm sure that was something that was going through your mind.
Yeah, mate. Like obviously, I was just let's just make it clear for everyone. I didn't mean it. I didn't try to score. I was just trying to hoof it away. First touch. But when then the wind caught it. Then the wind caught it, and that was one of those things when everything was going my way in that goal. And to be fair, Daisy mentioned, if I don't remember wrong, it was that or the other game when Daisy mentioned that in front of the other goal, it's very firm, and the ball bounces weird, and that's exactly what happened. So credit to Daisy as well, even though I did not try to score. And after that score, I was just hoping that we get the win, because otherwise it would have been for nothing. And it was way too early in the game as well, like 30 minutes played or something like that.
Absolutely, and so you were just saying there in regards to Daisy. So are you giving Daisy sort of an assist for that one, or?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Okay, so we'll touch on we touched on the loan spells a little bit, and of course your stint at Stevenage was only a short one in the end. And was there any sort of chance of extending that loan, or was it kind of just going to be a short-term deal?
No, well, basically, no. I wanted to stay for longer, and obviously, my idea is that Stevenage wanted it to be longer as well. But because of injury that came in the FA Cup game, that was prolonged for past the January window. Obviously, the club had to move for other options other options, and I couldn't extend the loan, but that was the sad thing about it. That I was currently with rectus femoris injury.
And of course, we were touching on some of the loans there, and actually you were out on loan in Finland as well. You had a loan deal out in there, and what were some of those sort of main differences between playing in the Finnish league and even the Italian league where you're at now?
Yeah, well, I try to comparisons are very difficult to make. All the leagues, all the different leagues have different characteristics that develop by the culture and how teams play and what kind of players there are and what kind of managers there are and stuff like that. So it's it's very hard to make comparisons. Obviously, England compared to Finland is very different type of football, at least what is played in or what was played in League Two back then. But there are many good things in both leagues, in my opinion. Obviously, League Two was very direct in the sense of how quickly the game evolved from playing out from the back, or like going straight to the striker or whatever, and then going and trying to score. Whereas somewhere else, the Villa play would have been more patient. Obviously, during our time in League Two, there were still teams that were playing really nifty football as well. But as a general idea, it's very hard to make comparisons. And obviously, a lot of time has passed, so I can't even remember that well all the bits and pieces of it.
Yeah, that's fair enough. And you touched on Dean Wells and coming into training with Dean. Was Dean one of the people you'd sort of room with on away days as well, or?
Sorry, can you repeat?
Yeah, no, I was just saying you spoke about Dean Wells before, who was coming into the club where you went to training. Was he the kind of was he one of the people you were rooming with on away days as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I always was very good mates with him, and he helped me a lot, and but on away days and in general, like I was always also very focused and very professional, maybe even too much inside my own head. But it's at that age, it's understandable for me at least, because I come from another country and just try to get my job done, and then thinking about all the other things of it. But actually the social aspect of things, that can actually help you on the pitch as well.
And of course, I've got to touch on the fact that you're a representative of Finland as well. You made 14 appearances for Finland, and what does that feel like? To represent your own native country. Of course, you were part of their squad at the Euros as well, just gone.
Yeah, actually, yeah. For me, it's a great honor. A great honor. One of the best things footballer can do is to represent their country and play for the joy of the football, which it is. It is essentially, and with Finland team, what makes it even more special, because a lot of us have played with each other since we were young boys. Like when we were under 16, under 17 national team, a lot of the guys have played together from those age groups, and it's basically a group of mates, competing on a very high level, and that's what makes it so special, especially for me. And I'm very, very honored and very, very proud to always represent my country. And obviously I've played 14 odd matches for the Finland side. I've been, I think, with like 60 trips anyway, because we have such a good number one in Radecki. So I've been with the team now for less. If we don't lie too much, I've been probably with the team for 10 years now.
Oh wow, that's quite some time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, we had a question in regards to, at the Euros as well. And of course, it was Finland against Denmark, wasn't it? Sorry, the opening game where Christian Eriksen, of course, suffered the cardiac arrest as well. And, what was that like to kind of witness that from somebody, from the touchline?
Well, horrible. I think for everyone involved, we are all just so happy that Christian is doing better, and that care of the on-site staff, medical staff, also Denmark players was phenomenal, and everyone on the stadium was horrified of what happened, and just hoping for him and his well-being. It was, not a great experience for anyone, but even in the most difficult of moments, it's good to look at the people that try to help, and they did it phenomenal.
Absolutely, and of course, when you look at that as well, you have to look at the chant that was basically being, I think it was the Finland fans and the Denmark fans. One of them was chanting Christian, the other one was the other set were chanting Eriksen, and that's what football's about, isn't it? Getting everybody to come together, and that was a really beautiful touch.
Yeah, it is. It was absolutely a credit to both sides of the fans, and it's football is important, but it's never more important than health and all the things, or family, and all the things in life that really matter. And those are the moments when you start thinking about a lot of very deep stuff about life itself when you see something like that happening. So it was great to see how the fans responded and gave each other strength and supported each other, and supported Eriksen, and supported his family, but even more so how the Denmark players reacted. They were credit to their whole country, how they were able to form a shield and helped give protection to Eriksen, and also the medical professionals doing their job.
Yeah, definitely. I thought it was excellent. Of course, Simon Kerr as well, the Danish captain. I thought he was exceptional. He was brilliant in terms of what he did. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
So let's jump back to your time at Stevenage now, and what was your relationship like with the Stevenage fans as well? Did you always have a good bond and a good connection?
Yes. No, for me, it was one of the first experiences. So I don't one of the first experiences. So I'm more concentrated on the playing side, and not like thinking about too much how the fans are reacting to personally me. And in general, that's been a thing for me throughout my career, that what people shout or don't shout doesn't affect me that much. But I still felt a good connection with the Stevenage fans, and obviously it's a bit hard when you've got Daisy on the bench, or that kind of situation, because he's club legend, obviously. So people are not automatically going to like me for that particular reason. But in general, I felt very good, always going in front from the fans, and giving everything I got for them, because that's what football is all about. Like we've seen latest last spring with the Superliga thing. Football is from the fans for the fans, and it's always going to stay that way, and it should always stay that way, because it's played for that reason.
Definitely, yeah. And when you look at Stevenage as well, they've always been a very community-based club as well, and that includes during the coronavirus as well, when that was all at its peak. And there was so much that the club was doing in terms of helping out the community, and that's Stevenage have always been like that. I'm sure even when you were there, you were probably out in the community helping out as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I actually, I've actually seen a lot of stuff, especially during the pandemic and the lockdown. Were great deal of stuff. Stevenage has been doing for the community, and it's unreal to be honest. That a football club is actually doing the right thing, doing the right thing and helping people, because in difficult times that's what you need, and that's just beautiful to see.
Absolutely. And then of course it was a bit of a struggle on the pitch, not last season but the season before now. And then, of course, Alex Revell's come in, and he's got Dean Wilkins and Mark Sampson as well now. And it's great that the club have remained a Football League club as well, isn't it? And, of course, last season, sort of January onwards, they actually kicked on and started to pick up some positive results as well.
Yeah, no, I've been following the team I think the team had an unbelievable run in the springtime as well. So it's always important with the new there's a new stand right in the stadium.
Yeah, that's right. And the north stand. I'm sure when you were there, the north stand was now it's an all-seater stand, but beforehand it was it was pretty much just a shed, really, wasn't it? You could only fit a few people in it.
Yeah, but what I'm talking about is that the facilities, the training ground, the stadium. It's all football, and the club in itself. It's a Football League club.
Yeah,
no doubt. So it's for me, it's always beautiful to see that Stevenage is doing well and staying in the Football League and even thriving on. Hopefully, upcoming season even more so.
And of course, when you were there was Ben Kennedy was there as well, and of course Ben was a great player on his day, wasn't he, as well? And how important is it for the likes of Stevenage to give these sort of youngsters an opportunity to shine in the first team?
No, it's that's the thing about football. Like you obviously want the team to get results. Football is a results-based thing, but you also need to look out for the results of tomorrow. And with young players, you are looking out for the results of tomorrow. And with the likes of Ben Kennedy and others, maybe there was loan signings that were young or whatever. It's very, very important to keep the boys there, shot at playing and bring them into the first team environment first, and then give them games, see how they do, give them a little bit of time, a little bit more than you would give an experienced head.
Yeah.
And you usually get good results from it, either on the pitch or by getting transfer fees from other clubs for buying your players. So it works for all parties involved. It's very, very important to give youngsters their chance, but also to develop them and give them extra training and stuff like that, because then they are most prepared for whatever will come in their footballing lives. They are most prepared for football, but more even to the life itself, to whatever they decide to do or wherever their career takes them. They are ready to take on challenges and be brave in those moments. So it definitely is an important thing.
Yeah, definitely, and that includes the women's game as well. And Stevenage have got their own women's side as well now, and that's great. To include them into the sort of same umbrella, if you like, as the men's. Yeah.
Absolutely, no, absolutely, and it's a very, very important thing, extremely important thing for equality, and for having being given an equal opportunity to achieve and compete, and because that's what makes sports and that's life of an athlete, not just in you are not just a footballer. You are nowadays in the modern football. You are an athlete, so and you thrive on trying to achieve things, and everyone should have an equal
Definitely. And just a couple more, just to wrap it up, really. And what sort of piece of advice, if you could give one piece of advice to, a young boy or a young girl with a passion for football who wants to kind of make a career in the game, like what would you kind of say?
Well, kind of a precious question, that. Quite a lot of writing on that. What would you say? Say to improve the future. I don't know, just give it your all. That's it. Give it your all. Give it everything. Whatever it is, give it your all, and go at it. It's simple as that. Like if we are talking about football, you definitely need to give it your all. Like you can't go half pace, and maybe arrive somewhere. You need to give it your all, because then when you've given your all, and you've given your all, when it comes to the moment when you're 45 and having a pint in a pub with your mates,
yeah.
And then you're speaking about, I was a footballer, but I gave it my all, and this is the point where I arrived. Rather than you are, talking over a pint, and you're saying, I should have done this and should have done that. I've never wanted to have that. I should have done this. I should have, would have, could have, because I don't want to have that conversation. I'd rather give it my all now. And then at the end of my career, and when I'm a little bit older, I can look at it, with a smile on my face and be like, I gave it my all. That's where I arrived, and that's okay. Yeah,
that's a great answer, and I do apologise for putting you on the spot there as well. But no, just when you look at some of your own sort of inspirations when you were, starting out yourself as a young footballer, who were your kind of main inspirations that you were, sort of looking up to, and were they sort of predominantly goalkeepers, or?
Yeah, well for me when I was young, the first match I properly remember seeing was the 2000 Euro final, Italy against France.
Oh yeah,
I liked the Italy keeper, which was Buffon.
Mm-hmm.
Buffon, and obviously followed him up, and always was trying to look the videos when YouTube came and stuff like that, what he was doing, and try to imitate it. And obviously Antiniemi, who was a great goalkeeper for Southampton, and nowadays national team coach, goalkeeper coach, by the way. Absolutely mental in his head, but a very, very good coach and very, very good person as well. Him.
Oh yeah, I remember him from Southampton, and also at Fulham as well, when a really good goalkeeper. And it's good to hear that he's goalkeeping coach at the moment as well, and doing very, very well there. I think let's just have a look. This is probably going to be enough to wrap it up, to be honest. We kind of covered a lot of that, so yeah, I think we'll kind of leave it there, to be fair with you, mate. So thanks for taking some time out, and of course there was just one question in regards to when you were at is it Brescia as well? I probably completely butchered their name, but of course you played under not under, but alongside Mario Balotelli as well, didn't you? And one of my mates is a big fan of Balotelli, and I just kind of want to know what he was like as a player to play alongside.
No. For me, Mario is a great guy, and obviously a footballer with unbelievable talent. He gets a bad rep in the media, and obviously I don't concentrate on that stuff. For me, he was a good teammate. He was a good person around people, joking, like this light-hearted person having fun with football. And obviously in some teams it works out, and some teams it doesn't. But what I can say, he was unbelievable talent, and still is. I think he's now playing in Turkey. So I hope he has a good season again. But for me, he was a great character.
And of course, just the very last question. This is definitely the last one now. And when you signed for Brescia, you signed for I think it's about $4.5 million. So is that quite a lot of pressure for somebody to sign with that kind of a fee on them?
No. For me, pressure is a privilege in a sense of, you've done a lot of good things to arrive there, and yes, you have to deliver, but that's the case even if you were paid £0 or euros for to come and play. You still have to deliver as a professional. That is your obligation. You will try to do your best. Obviously, some days you mess up, and some days you play a game of your life. But that is the obligation you take when you decide to play football. That you have to deliver for your teammates, especially for the fans, for the manager, for the owner. That's just how football works. So for me, was it extra pressure? No, it wasn't extra pressure, because I've always get the same pressure from myself that I need to perform. That's it. I'm quite methodical in the approach to the games and to the pressure, and to dealing with mistakes and to dealing with success as well. Because that can be overwhelming. In a sense of you can get carried away. So you need to keep your emotions and preparation in check and trust that the method will take you where you want to go.
All right. Well, we'll wrap it up there, mate. Thank you for joining today, and best of luck with the rest of your career as well, because internationally and at club level. I'm going to go and watch your goal against Wycombe again. Cheers, mate. Thanks a lot.
Thanks so much. And next time I'm looking for a late game corner and heading it in. So I'm probably not trying to score anymore from my own half. But I'll probably look when next goal. I definitely look for end of the game header.
A bit like Alisson for Liverpool then last season, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, just like that. Yeah.
All right. Cheers, mate. Thanks a lot.
That's the dream. Yeah. Thanks, mate.
Cheers.
Thanks for having this chat.
Cheers. Thanks, Jess.